Yeah, peace and blessings, everybody. What it do? This is me, Maji, and I'm here to let you know. I represent Newbold Vision. Newbold Vision is something that tells you to pay no minds to lies, to open your eyes, to realize that you are as powerful as the sun. But it's time for you to beam up like a sky rocket and shine your light like the moon. It's never too soon to be yourself. Just know that the ancestors, the creators are all looking out for us. Thank you. So we're back, and my name is Maji, and you're in tune to Newbold Vision. We're back with a panel full of experts, gurus, specialists, magicians, mathematicians, and we're gonna just pass the mic so they can all introduce themselves, what they do, and what do we want to talk about. My name is Maji, and I'm a humanitarian, and I want to talk about love, peace, and harmony. Peace.
My name is Charles Clark, Team Success. We talk about money, finance, money, period.
That's
Point
right.
blank.
My name is Talib Desliel. I'm also Team Success, dancer. You know, so many things. I wear many hats. Model. I do extra work for films. For linguists, speak a couple languages, Chinese included.
Right.
And you know, also a tech enthusiast.
How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Marcus Moore, and I'm a satirist.
All right. So now that we know who we are, I'm gonna toss the ball up in the air like they do in volleyball. You know, you seem like you have something to say, brother. I would like to hear what you got to say. That way you can set the tone.
Well, setting the tone, I talk about money, point blank. What happens is in our community, we've shied away from really sitting at the table with our families talking about money. This is something that we used to do years ago, but somewhere along the line we've lost that. So we generate trillions of dollars funding someone else's goals and dreams when it comes to our money. When you look at the statistical data, the money that comes to our black community leaves by the second hand. And if you think about that, what that simply means is that if I get paid, I pay this sister, and then what she does is she takes it outside the communities and gives it to someone else. We want to stop that. In the Asian communities, they say it's 33 times it spins around in that community before it leaves the community. So one of the things we do at Team Success is we teach financial literacy. We teach people about money. We let them know that we are not broke. We just don't know how to manage our finances. And we teach people how to manage our finances.
Now, where can they find you if they want to learn about finances? Can you give them a contact, a location, a place?
Yes, at the end. I'll give it at the end. I'll give it to them all at the end. That's fine.
But yes, now so you won't forget.
No, I got it. All at the end. So yes.
I agree. You know, we have to build our community, and we have to use our resource and take control back of our destiny.
Yes.
With that said, I'm gonna pass the mic to Taliba.
Yes. Spot on with it. Definitely, we definitely gotta come back into our own. We gotta come back into self-sustainability. We gotta come back into, you know, how we had it in Black Wall Street, how we had it in Rosewood, how we had it in Wheatsville, how we had it in Wilmington.
Yes.
You know, we really need to come back into, you know, self-mastery.
Yes.
And just like every other community, the Jews or the so-called Jews, you know, the Chinese, the Arab, they all have their own community. The Koreans, they have you know, they circle their wagons pretty much, and it works. Everything is functioning as it is. Everything as it's designed, and everybody, they have a sanctuary, so to say. They have a sanctuary. You never see any of them on a train with some type of story of dilapidation and destitute and subjugation, speaking in regards that they need help. Please help me. I need $1. I'm homeless, I'm this, I'm that. Then you never see that.
That's a good point. Very good point.
Marcus Moore, you want to shine in?
Sure. So, ladies and gentlemen, I simply feel that homelessness, first of all, we are in a homelessness crisis, not just in New York City, but around this country that we call America. And so I simply feel that homelessness should be a topic for the 2000, if I'm not mistaken, the 2020 presidency.
Right.
I think the candidates, we should be questioning them and talking to them about what are they going to do about homelessness around this nation. United States is the richest nation right now on the face of this earth. And the last time I checked, it's 189,000, ladies and gentlemen, 189,000 homeless in New York City. That's not acceptable.
So how do we go from homelessness to being entrepreneur?
That's a good question. First of all, one thing we also have to understand the concepts of capitalism. We've been taught socialism, and socialism is a fine political theory, but we live in a capitalistic society. And one thing about capitalism is you learn and you find out the need. And once you find the need, you fill that need and you charge for that need. So homelessness is the need. So what do they need? They need homes. So we need to figure out, and we were talking about veterans and how I know there are thousands of veterans out there who are homeless. So imagine they have an opportunity to actually purchase a home through the United States because they were veterans.
Look at that.
But if they knew this, imagine, again, one of the things I look at is, imagine 10 of these homeless brothers or sisters, they're veterans, coming together saying, listen, we're going to work on this project. We're going to get the funding because they're entitled to it. And say, listen, we're going to get our own apartment building and we're going to fund it ourselves. These are things that we have to do. We have to sit down and speak to them about it.
It's funny you should say that because Marcus is doing just that.
Yes.
Marcus, you want to elaborate on what you're doing?
So, one of the problems I think that we, first of all, I'm a homesteader. And so I know a little bit about being sustainable here in America. And so for those some of y'all that seen my movies, Living as a Struggle and Homeless in New York, I don't have to go no further. But any event, I think we don't need affordable housing. We need low-income housing for 20 and down. Because when we go out there and we go to work, a lot of us, because I admit, some of us are houseless, but we still work. Right. So you have people that work, but they don't have nowhere to go but back to the shelter.
Right.
And so I believe that once we can get something through the administration head, this de Blasio, because for what his units that he want to put out there for homelessness, is a joke. And so I think once we start creating low-income housing, because you look around town here in New York City, you see luxury buildings going up all over town like popcorn, and we have people, families and children. Now we have homeless youth walking around with nowhere to go. And so that's got to stop. That's not acceptable.
So, Taliba, you want to shine in on, the bridge of not having the proper information. The resources are right there, but they don't have the information. How can we bridge that together where we have, currency is attention. Whatever, we are the currency. When Marcus was talking about the teenagers being homeless, if we could give information to the teenagers, to the homeless people, that they do have a voice, a power, and a resources. You want to shine in on that? How can we, pull our resources to give our information so that people could be empowered?
First off, that has to be put to the forefront. First of all, these people have to become uninvisible because
what does that mean, being uninvisible?
Right, they have to be the masses have to be cognizant of their existence. They walk past them every day. We talking about millionaires, Wall Street execs, celebrities. They like they're a light fixture or a cactus plant in the corner.
You're right.
Because it's not affecting them. So that's number one. Number two, finances need to be allocated towards things of like 3D printed homes, shipping containers that can be converted into homes, decommissioned ships that also can be put into homes. You know,
Interesting.
the different cabins and what have, and submarines and what have you. You know, even underground little projects. You know, they invest all that now. Hudson Yard near Jacob Javits Center, billions and billions, and One World Trade, and all these other big Jack and the Beanstalk high rises. And most of the people that own those don't even live here. So the investment has to be allocated towards these different to this labor of love that is non-existent to the masses. You know, but instead the investment goes to lace fronts, wigs, weaves, eyelashes. It goes to Fortnite and Assassin's Creed, and you know, it also goes to, you know, Gucci, which don't like you, and you know,
Yankee tickets.
Yeah, Yankee tickets. Your favorite artist or comedian that has come to town this week.
Right.
And all and red bottoms and mani petty, manicures and pedicures.
Oh yeah.
So, which we also don't own, by the way. And you know, we need to invest.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Marcus Moore, aka Satirist Marcus Moore, the homeless poet. Some of y'all might know me from my activism work with Picture the Homeless over the years, the last 10 years. And so I come to you today to you know, for the people that's going through challenges these days in time, in places, in public places, you know, nowadays, you know, we have people coming into the city, such as, you know, New York and places like that, and they kind of like want to use the bathroom. And so we are having a hard time these days here in New York. We're just needing to use the bathroom. Some bathrooms are not free. Some merchants like to discriminate against people when it comes to the bathrooms. And so, you know, some merchants, they thing is, well, we just trying to keep homeless people out of our establishments. And they, you know, sometimes and a lot of times they discriminate. And so, you know, my organization, Picture the Homeless, over the years, been fighting for several years through several administrations, such as the Dinkin, the Giuliani administration, the Bloomberg administration. We have APT, public toilets that's being stored up in Queens, New York, and it haven't really been used. And we trying to get these, Picture the Homeless is trying to get these public toilets used in public places where not just homeless people, but people who are coming into the city like tourists. People are really trying to find legit places to use the bathrooms. And so, you know, we finding that residents here and even tourists around the country are experiencing tough times in big cities such as New York, because do you figure just using a bathroom is not a big deal, but if you have to use a bathroom, different places like Washington Heights, you know, you go to the McDonald's, you have to pay. Yes, you heard me clearly, ladies and gentlemen. You have to pay. You know, if you, God forbid, that you don't have no change on you. You know what I'm saying? So these bathrooms these days around the city are not free. You got to pay a quarter to use the bathroom. And you're in a desperate situation where you have to use a bathroom. If you don't have the adequate change on you, you might just have an accident on yourself. So we're trying to get public bathrooms to be open so people can use these bathrooms through the course of the day. We need bathrooms to be open for the public 24 hours a day. And so I have some paperwork here to show you, you know, how these bathrooms are currently looking these days here in New York City. You know, I'm not too sure you can see it clearly, but I mean, it's really ridiculous how some of these bathrooms are looking around the city. You know, they claiming that a certain 129 bathrooms are open, but only 53 are unlocked. That's right, you heard me clearly. 129 bathrooms are MTA says 129 bathrooms are open, but only 53 are unlocked. And so you have to use the bathroom. Where do you go to use the bathroom? And so we are trying to, gather up enough information so people can use the bathroom. So that's APT, automatic public bathrooms. You can, we do have these bathrooms that people can use, but we find out that they are broken, they need to be maintained, and so we are at Pitching the Homeless. We have a campaign that we are working on, and it's called Free to Pee. Okay, so if you want to know more about this here campaign, you can definitely get in touch with me, or folks at Pitching the Homeless, or you can email me at morehomesteaders@gmail.com. And so
these classrooms with these prefab, why can't they do that for the homeless?
Right.
Take a land plot that's not being used, set up your prefab homes. It could be rooms with showers or whatever. Make it a community living space, because what has to happen is there's a transition period.
this is a organization that's doing great work, ladies and gentlemen. And, we're currently going around the city and looking for people to share their stories of people who's been displaced, who's been wrongly evicted, these days and time. We want you to be able to share your stories, because these stories, we can't look for the mainstream to share our stories. We have to go and share our stories with each other and put it out there, such as what we're doing right now. And so if you know a neighbor, a friend who's been wrongly evicted or displaced out of their community, you can definitely, once again, give me a call, or you can email me, and I will go, or some of my constituents will go and interview you, and we'll get your story and put it out there. And so along with the work, along with doing interviews and stuff like that, we also taking data of where people are getting evicted at around the city. Okay, we are also taking up how different landlords are evicting people in certain parts of the city. And so we are taking this data and we're showing how people are being displaced out of communities. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Marcus Moore. You might have seen me before, but however, we are doing great work here in New York City. And we want you to be able to continue to enjoy the city. The city is not just for the powerful and rich, but the city is for everybody to enjoy.
But what you're talking about is the arena that we're in, see? And we don't find too many of us talking about this. So when we meet people, we're like, oh yeah, okay, we see, like I said, and the thing is, what we need to do is we need to be able to make sure that people who don't understand our verbiage. And that's what we do in Team Success. We make sure you understand the verbiage. You don't have to know exactly what's going on, but when you're having a conversation, you're like, okay, I know what this is, I know what that is. Now, if I want more, I'll ask more questions. You have to be able to understand which questions to ask when it comes to the information that you're looking for. Now, like I said, I like that idea of having some vets come together and purchase a building for themselves that's theirs. And they can do it because they're vets, and the VA home loans are the best home loans out there you can get from the government. But I don't know why they don't do this, because again, they don't.
I can actually set that up with the vet program.
Wow.
Get
See
the
that?
vets, and
See that?
get that with the your trust, and we have invested. We're sponsored by NYU and Barclays. I can
Do you see that?
I can
and
bring
I mean,
that
and it's based on here. We just got an idea.
But one of the things that that I'm concerned about is that maybe one of these days we can set up maybe I'm just saying, just putting it out there, we just building right now, game and film night. And so one of my things is that over the years I've been surviving by taking over public space here in New York. So what I mean by that, just taking over abandoned houses.
Right.
And so that's how I've been keeping myself off the pavement.
Right.
In different in these city shelters. And so I have made movies with other people from other countries.
Right.
So so they understand that people who are living in the United States, everybody's not living love.
Right.
And so I'm trying to, in the movies, I'm showing them how I'm taking over these buildings and how actually people are living, and people are struggling to meet their rents. People are working 2 or 3 jobs and still can't meet their rent. People like myself who just don't got it and who's not going to be shacking up with everybody in town just don't got it. Why this here building stays the way it is, why the invisible landlord is way over that way in Miami, and I'm here in New York walking past this house, and so what we bringing that up? A community land trust. I have some language. Probably the next time I see you guys, some language will break it down to a person who never even heard this language, like speculation.
Got it, right.
That has to be implemented because they're used to the slave master's language.
Got it, right.
By design.
By design, right. And so they're not used to, so you have to kind of like spoon feed them with the game.
Right, understand, right. And that's why we're talking about it, exactly.
Yep, and so it's been a while for myself.
To be deprogrammed and reprogrammed.
Right.
Yep. It's been a while since I came across someone, because now a lot of people in my network, some of them are doing community land trust, but it's always been a community land trust, Cooper Square.
Right.
Oh, yeah, Cooper Union Square.
Yeah, but it took a lot of organizing. It didn't just, they had to go through Robert Mosley and all of them who wanted to just put people in the fucked up part of the land and build highways and stuff like that. So that took a lot of organizing.
So correct me if I'm wrong. Teach me the difference between the community land trust and a condo or co-op, not a co-op, not a condo, a co-op.
Okay, so with a community land trust, right? You can sell a co-op and make a profit. Yes, brother?
Right.
You can sell a co-op and make a profit.
Okay.
A community land trust, you can sell it too, but you ain't gonna make a profit. You have to keep it affordable for when you the next man.
Okay.
You can
when
you pass away, you can leave it for your siblings.
Right.
But see, in this structure now, if you up in the project somewhere and you die, right? Your parents die and you left there, you're gonna be going too eventually.
But your name has to be on the deed.
But see, now we're getting into the craziness of their housing today. But going back to a community land trust,
right? Yeah,
you're not going through all that.
And I agree with you. What I like is the fact of we need to know both sides. See, we're getting shitted on because we don't know the rules, the rules of the game. Once we know the rules of the game, see, here's the problem. When we're on point and they see us, they're like, how did you know that? Oh no, don't worry. My shit is my shit is straight legit. Well, how did you know? Look, here you go. All my paperwork, my documentation, it's all on point. You can't mess with me. See, the problem is they don't want you to know, and they don't think you expect you to know what's going on. And you're like, oh no, I know this game. Why? Because I went to Team Success Four Corners Financial Literacy Program. We know.
Yeah, it's all about design. That's how they play. They anticipate you to be in a realm of darkness. To be in the realm of the unknown, and that's what they like. That's where their power derives from.
Right.
They can't come into prominence when you are in the know. When you are knowledgeable of something, it hurts them. That's their kryptonite.
And so, now we have rezoning and displacement and families all packed up in shelters. Why is de Blasio investing in shelters?
Right.
Why do we need more shelters? So I don't understand why we need 90 more shelters. I would truly believe that people need permanent housing. Now, some people do, ladies and gentlemen, need supportive housing because some of us have, things going on mentally and that struggles from, living in the street, and now your house, and you've been in the street all your life just about, and now you're in a place. But however, a community land trust reinvests back into the people.
Right.
A community land trust invests back into the community.
A lot of people don't know this.
So,
Malcolm said the master will never give you the tools to dismantle the master's house.
There you go.
So
That's right.
more homesteaders@gmail.com. More MOORE homesteaders.
And
Thank
yes, we're about to wrap up. I want to thank all my guests for coming through. Thank you for your love and support. I'm gonna give everybody a chance to address the public, whether they want to be contacted. You can contact me, Maji. Channel is Whiskey Films, and on Instagram it's called Miss Boss Player. My name is Maji. I'm your host, and you're in tune to Newbold Vision. I'm gonna pass the microphone this way so we can all say farewell. Thank you for watching.
Okay, my name is Charles Clark, Team Success. You can contact me at nyteamsuccessinfo@gmail.com. nyteamsuccessinfo@gmail.com.
Talib Desbiel. Let me say peace out. I can be contacted at george718-2000@gmail.com. And for any, you have like a party or, birthday, sweet 16, whatever you want me to come and do some choreography, fine. Foreign language help, I teach that as well. And that's it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to learn more about community land trust,
Right.
we have a board game that I can pretty much show you how you can go about playing community land trust and breaking it down so you're not confused. And so once again, you can email me at morehomesteaders@gmail.com, or you can find me on Facebook. And like I always say, to the east, to the west, to the north, to the south, I'm the homeless poet.
Yes, no
Thank you.
doubt. So now you know you're in tune to Newbold Vision. I want to give a special shout out to Manhattan Neighborhood Network. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes,
Our
thank you.
coordinator, Rick, know that knowledge is power.
Thank you.
All right, have a beautiful day.
Thank you.
And stay tuned. Newbold Vision.
All
One
right.
love.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
fellas.
All right,
Sure, exact.
I think we're done here.